Right now, your fear of flying lives at a level you can't even name. And that's the problem. When you can't measure your fear, you can't manage it. Psychologists have a tool that changes this completely. It's called the SUDS scale, the Subjective Units of Distress Scale, and it's the single most powerful starting point for overcoming flight anxiety. Today, I'm going to walk you through it, and by the end of this video, you'll have your own personal fear score. That number is your starting line. The SUDS scale was developed by clinical psychologists to give people a way to rate their emotional intensity on a simple 0 to 10 scale. 0 means completely calm, no anxiety at all. 10 means the most intense panic you can imagine, the kind that feels like you're losing control entirely. Think of it like a thermometer for your emotions. When you're on a plane and your chest tightens, instead of just thinking, "I'm scared," you can now say, "I'm at a 7. That number does something powerful. It moves you from an emotional state to a logical one. And that shift is where recovery begins.
Here's why this matters specifically for flying. Fear of flying isn't one thing. It's a cluster. Some people fear turbulence. Some fear the confined space. Some fear losing control. Some fear the unknown sounds and sensations. The SUDS scale lets you rate each of these separately. So you might discover that turbulence is your 9, but claustrophobia is only your 4. That tells you exactly where to focus your work and what you can already handle.
So let's do this. Let's build your personal fear profile right now. I'm going to list the most common fear triggers for nervous flyers. For each one, give yourself a number from 0 to 10. 0 is no fear at all. 10 is the most intense panic you can imagine. Don't overthink it. Just go with the number that feels right. We'll start with the biggest ones. Number 1, turbulence during the flight. Where are you on the 0 to 10 scale? Hold that number. Number 2, the confined cabin space, being unable to leave. Where are you? Number 3, takeoff, the acceleration, the climbing angle, the noise. Rate it. Number 4, landing, the descent, the changes in sound and sensation. Number 5, unfamiliar sounds, bumps, clicks, whirs that you don't understand. Number 6, the feeling of losing control, being dependent on the pilots and the plane. Number 7, the possibility of something going wrong, even though you know the statistics. Number 8, waiting at the airport before the flight, the anticipation anxiety. Got your numbers? Good. Now look at them. You've just done something most nervous flyers never do. You've mapped your fear. You've turned a vague, overwhelming feeling into a set of specific, measurable scores. That is your fear inventory. Write these down. I'll explain why in a moment.
Here's what your fear scores give you that raw emotion never could. A starting point and a direction. When your fear is just, "I'm scared of flying," it's a wall. You can't climb a wall if you can't see where the handholds are. But when you know turbulence is your 9 and cabin space is your 4, you've just found the handholds. You now know that turbulence is where to focus your energy, and the cabin space is something you already handle reasonably well. That's not a wall anymore. That's a ladder.
And here's the second thing your scores give you: progress tracking. When you fly next time, you rate the same triggers again. If turbulence went from a 9 to a 7, that's real, measurable improvement, even if it still feels scary. Most nervous flyers think the goal is to feel 0 fear. That's not the goal. The goal is to move your numbers down, 1 point at a time. A 9 becoming a 7 is a massive victory. A 7 becoming a 5 is transformation. You don't need to reach 0. You need to reach manageable. And your SUDS scores will prove you're getting there, even when your emotions tell you you're not. This is the foundation of cognitive behavioral therapy, the most evidence-backed approach for phobia treatment. You replace vague, catastrophic thinking, "I can't handle flying," with specific, measurable reality. I handled turbulence at a 7, which is 2 points lower than last time. That replacement is the entire engine of recovery. Your SUDS scores are the fuel.
Now I want to give you something practical you can use every time you fly. It's called the Fear Inventory, and it's a simple sheet where you record your SUDS scores for every flight. Before your next flight, rate each trigger on the list we just went through. During the flight, rate them again in real time. After the flight, rate them one final time. You'll see something remarkable. Your scores almost always drop during the actual flight compared to what you predicted before. Anticipation anxiety is almost always higher than in-flight anxiety. Your brain catastrophizes before the event. Reality is less scary than prediction. Your fear inventory will prove this to you, flight after flight, until your brain starts to believe it. You can create this yourself. Just write down the 8 triggers we rated today and add columns for before flight, during flight, and after flight. Or I've included a complete fear inventory template in my book Cobblestones in the Sky, along with detailed guidance on how to use it, how to track your progress, and how to interpret your scores over time. If you want the full toolkit, the link is in the description.
Here's what I want you to take away from this. Your fear is not a mystery. It's a set of numbers, and numbers can be moved. You don't need to conquer flying in one dramatic leap. You need to move your SUDS score from a 9 to an 8, then from an 8 to a 7. Each point is a real, provable victory. Your fear inventory is the tool that proves it. Use it. Track it. Watch your numbers come down. And when they do, you will know with certainty that your fear is shrinking. That's the power of measuring what you feel. Next week, we'll look at exactly why your brain generates these fear scores in the first place, and how understanding that mechanism gives you even more control. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Your next flight can be different.